Scary crash in center cap between a plane and a pickup truck. Two people managed to walk away.
This happened on Pleasant Grove Road, right near Nicholas Avenue. The reporter covering Center County Cable Muller walks us through what happened. And this year, the gate that clicked early this morning before colliding with the truck. The smell of terrible filled the air along Nicholas Avenue near Pleasant Grove Road. A reminder of the early morning crash outside of Mills Drop Dusting Service. At the same time, a woman driving an F-150 was traveling eastbound and was struck by the single-engine plane. Both pilot and driver are okay.
And she was transported for just essentially for documentary reasons.
Pilot was unscathed and didn't even pay a visit to the hospital. The aircraft has been sold to an out-of-state company who contracted a pilot to retrieve it.
It's found around here, I think they're all agricultural complex. That's how we're it's like, this how you're best to stay safe.
Sergeant McIntosh says he's been on the job for more than 20 years and hasn't seen anything like it.
Yeah, after looking at the plane and F-150, it's surprising that no one is doing search and injury or report that it's very relieved to hear that. It's a major injury. It's a medical accident.
The cause of that crash is still being an engineering mistake on a light rail project is common concern for nature lovers in Tulsa.
The Dodge City is deciding if they'll chop down more historic trees near the tracks. Take a look at our video against from why the number of trees that need to be removed keeps growing.
This grove of oak trees and beautiful placement for generations. Most of the oaks in this area are 100 and 300 years old. There's part of the secret parkway that runs along Gibson's Boulevard towards the historic downtown district. Several members Region Transit said using 24 of these trees need to be chopped down, but since they're totally unexpected occurrence. Robert Ridley, Transit President for Mississippi Court, on contacted some of the city's landmark tree ordinance. That law prevents removing trees like these that have historic and ecological value, unless the city council approves an exception. Residents who are used to seeing this suggestions to the city for as long as they live here are going to be very disappointed and very angry. RT said the trees need to be removed to make way for an additional light rail track that is currently being installed to add more trains.
We want to be able to provide 15-minute service frequency for all of those Wilson area metro stations.
Originally, RT told the city 85 trees needed to be cut down, but now that's been increased to 22. Others would be pruned and may not survive. The city said RT did not do a proper survey and mapping before they started construction.
We did have to work on a realignment with the craft event, and once that our contractor did that, we noticed that additional trees need to be removed.
The transit district will be required to carefully planting root trees, but parkway advocates say it will take decades before we move on to provide this much shade and beauty. There's no way to replace 100-plus-year-old trees.
Regional Transit says the light rail project is running behind schedule and is now set to open in October. The city said the more impacts the landmark trees could emerge as this project progresses.
Well, regulators are warning anyone with a Tesla to stay vigilant while using autopilot.
They say that's what sent a driver onto active railroad tracks this morning. And not everybody is convinced, though. Your reporter, Kayla Muller, is getting answers on if this is a Tesla problem or a driver problem.
Yeah, hey guys. The photo is quite a sight to see. That is an active train track, and somehow the Tesla managed to make its way about 25 yards down it. Something a few Tesla experts say must have been a driver error.
Several vehicles feeding into the train track. Great Tesla unknown injuries.
Early Wednesday morning, a Tesla driver found themselves on an active train track in Woodland while using the autopilot feature. According to police, the feature mistook the tracks for a road, posing a serious danger.
I use the first day I went for testing. I use it, but I don't like it.
Henrietta, another Tesla owner, says she doesn't feel comfortable using autopilot at all.
So I'm taking control of driving my own car. I don't like it, but people do.
Oh, I use it every day.
I'm taking a Tesla out for a spin with an expert on autopilot. Let's see how it does in downtown Sacramento.
It knows what's a road and what's not a road.
Ross Merva owns several Teslas and also repairs them. He says in this instance, with a Tesla on the train tracks, he suspects driver error due to the fact the car will come to a stop if you aren't being vigilant.
So you see how it's blinking right now? It's telling me that the Tesla sees that I am not paying attention to the road. You see how it's getting louder, and soon it will be so loud that even if you're sleeping, you will not be able to.
We're supposed to be ready to take over at a moment's notice.
I got a second opinion. This Tesla serviceman called it the same thing, driver error. I asked him if he was surprised that a Tesla was on a train track.
Not at all. I mean, there's a phenomenon called death by GPS where people have driven their cars into oceans, people have driven their cars off of cliffs. With that in mind, that kind of thing is no more different than any of those cases.
You know, she's all going crazy.
Yeah.
Just trying to calculate everything, but made it.
Ross Merva, the expert, also says the Tesla should have been able to recognize the terrain of the gravel on that train track and not being on a road. He says if it were truly on autopilot, it would just stop and disengage before it would be going down the track that far, which is why he's confident it was just driver error, someone who might not have wanted to admit it. Wow, well, all right, thank you, Kayla.
Fourth of July savings on now at Mazda Elk Grove with Mazda SUVs 0% for up to 72 months, plus our 10-year 100 limited warranty, lifetime car washes, and much more. Don't miss the 4th of July savings 0% for 72 at Mazda Elk Grove.
At Sutter, our 1,800 primary care doctors and 30 urgent cares never stop being there. And 1 million video visits never stop making life easier. Getting better never stops.
Life is better with the credit cards on your side. Rewards once available to the few are now accessible to many. Credit One Bank. Get cashback rewards and live large.
Wage and hour law covers the rules about how people are paid for the work that they do. Violations that we deal with most in our practice are overtime, meal breaks, and minimum wage. One of the things that we take great pride in here at the Arnold Law Firm is that we will get all of the money that we can, all of the money that is coming to our clients. If you are an employee and you have not been paid everything that you think is coming to you, it makes sense to talk to a lawyer as soon as you can.
Witness the greatness of Anna Hall and the rest of Team USA wherever you are with Xfinity Mobile. Now with Wi-Fi speeds up to a gig on the go.
And right now, buy one unlimited line and get one free for a year.
Get the fastest connection in Paris with Xfinity.
Our
From wrath to wonderful, tonight wineries in parts of our region are saying cheers.
Growers in El Dorado County, they've seen it all the past few years with the pandemic, the counter fire. Well, your reporter covering El Dorado County, Shelby Riley, spoke with winemakers about their uphill battle.
Some wineries I spoke with say this season could be one of the best harvests they've seen in a long time. But one winery owner tells me they're still feeling the effect from the Caldor fire in 2021.
The last couple of years have been interesting, to say the least.
Ryan Wright is a winemaker at Sierra Vista Winery. He says a pandemic in 2020, the Caldor fire in 2021, and an extreme frost followed by a heat dome in 2022 made the last few years not so great for growing grapes.
But luckily, 2023, this last harvest was beautiful, and 2024 so far is shaping up much the same way.
He says they had bud break late this year, which means onset of ripening will happen later in the year with cooler temperatures.
So you're going to have an elongated ripening season where you can retain acidity and all the fruit esters that you can sometimes lose in the vineyard when you have, too much heat.
Eric Hayes, the owner and winemaker at Chateau de Belle Winery, says he has similar hopes for 2024.
It was almost like Mother Nature was saying, I'm sorry.
He says they've had good growth so far and has even had to go in and thin some out to allow sunshine and air to hit the grapes.
But I had to do it early this year, earlier than I ever have before. Like, we could barely walk through some of the rows.
However, he is still feeling the aftermath of the Caldor fire after losing all of his crops.
We're usually about 2 to 3 years out with our red wines especially. So now that I'm running out of the 19s and the 20s, I don't have those 21s. So we're having to jump to the 22 vintage.
So both winemakers are hopeful this year, but say Mother Nature is the real determining factor as we head into the rest of these summer months.
The governor's office made an announcement about him moving, saying they're doing it for the children's future schooling.
In tonight's Politics at Large, Steve is live at the governor's mansion in downtown Sacramento with the constant hunt for housing in the California governor's team.
Yeah, why did the governor's mansion where no governor lives? Here it is, more of a venue for receptions and whatnot. California is one of the few states where there's no official governor's residence, making it always an intriguing question. Where will the governor live?
California's first family now bidding farewell to their Sacramento County home. Usually gates outside the private 12,000 square foot residence, Paul Kelly lives next door and says they have been good neighbors.
The governor and his family are very gentle, nice,